Yeah, and I'm so glad you pulled this one piece out, which is because if you go on social media or even in pop psychology and everyday conversations as well, they're typically depicted as evil vampires. They'll suck the life out of you, and it's not to say that those behaviors are inaccurate, because sometimes they are. But remember, a moment ago I mentioned there are different presentations. Not that kind of presentation is more of what we call malignant narcissism, which actually is the most destructive type. But that's not all narcissists. They don't all present in that way. I'm glad you pointed this out, because they're not evil. What they're doing is they're sort of fighting for their life in the only way they know how. So if we jump back to your question, in terms of how to recognize it, now that we just have a simple definition. So someone who may notice patterns within themselves, right? So not just one behavior or two, but this is over time. The people who come to me have been usually struggling with this for years, if not decades. So what they notice are swings in their self-esteem. So one moment they feel up, amazing, great, in control, but then something happens and then they come crashing down, or they feel very critical. They devalue themselves, so they devalue other people. They experience guilt, shame, feelings of inadequacy. Some of them then withdraw. They end up in bed, or they end up with, they think they're depressed, by the way. And this is very, very common, is people come to me sometimes after having been they receive treatment for depression for many years, and it's unrelenting. But when we look at this more closely, what we realize is this is sometimes what we call narcissistic deflation. So when they go from being very up and the best to feeling down.